Shawnee. Welcome back. Guess what time it is? It is time for our weekly roundup where I go over all of the eyeshadow palettes I used over the past week and I rank them from least liked to most liked. This was a good week. I pretty much liked every look. Now, we have 6 slots today. We have a repeat palette and a total of like 10 palettes, I think. So I'm getting back to being extra. And let's go ahead and jump in. So at number 6, we have the new collection from Nomad Cosmetics, Nomad Air. Now, this palette I actually have at my office because it is now going to be my office palette. There was a time where I forgot all of my makeup at home and had to go to CVS and buy a bunch of stuff. So I've been trying to find something that I can just leave at my office, something that I like, that I can make an easy, quick look with, that's work friendly. So yeah, that is at the office. You can go ahead and check out that collection on Nomad's website. I do know that there is a tote bag that has everything in it. It has the face mist, the face cream, the eyeshadow palette, and the lip balm. All of that together is $79 if you want the tote, or you can buy each of those things individually. I think it ranges from $22 to 30 or 40. So go ahead and check that out and make sure to use a code to get 10% off. There are quite a few of us that have codes. Mine is Shawnee10. Okay, so number 5. That is the Charlotte Tilbury Darling Fire Rose palette. Now, I have that. Oopsies. So here is the palette. It's one of her quads. And I heard that it is coming back. Now, I believe this is the first eyeshadow that I got from Charlotte Darling. And yeah, I really wanted it for this matte here because it's just a color I'm really attracted to. And I enjoyed this look a lot. It was something simple. I really just wanted to show you the palette. So I didn't go anywhere that day, I don't think. I was just doing the eye look. So in case you're planning on grabbing it, if it really is coming back, you could sort of see what it might look like. Okay, number 4 is a combination. And it is a combination of Pat McGrath and something else. But we're bringing Pat back. And finally, I have used the last mothership that I have. The combination is Sunlit Seduction, which is the most recent one that she came out with. And I paired that with the Viseart Cool Mattes palette. I only paired it with this I used the Viseart palette for liner. I just used some of the gray shades. I really just wanted to try to bring more cool tones into the look. So it's basically like a warm tone with a cool tone eyeliner. But I enjoyed this. These are 2 brands that I do like. The one thing with Pat McGrath is you definitely, I think, have to use the right primer for her shimmers and special shades. I always find that it's just all over my face. So I don't always enjoy that, but I know that I need to use the right primers for some of her products. The mattes are fine, but if you really want to amp up the shimmers or the special shades, you definitely want to make sure you're using the right base. I tend to like a stickier base. I also think her shimmers and special shades show up a lot better on their own. So initially I was going to try putting a color down and then putting the shimmer on top. And that was okay, but I really wanted more impact, that boom pow that I like. And so having it just patted on top of, I just patted on top of the primer, and I really liked that a lot more. So that was number 4. All right, we're already up to the top 3, y'all. So number 3, guess who I brought back out? The Dame, Patricia. McGrath. So that was a combination of 2 palettes as well. 2 of her holiday palettes. We're just gonna not talk about the current one, but I used 1 of her, or 2 of her mega palettes, and this one is Celestial Nirvana. So I took a couple shades from here, and then I paired it with Celestial Odyssey. I really enjoyed this look. Yeah, I tend to turn to my motherships a lot, but I'm wanting to make sure I also use my mega motherships. I really like the mega motherships. I feel like they give a lot of variety in terms of different colors. They're more affordable if you are comparing it to the larger or the like classic motherships, and you get a chance to kind of explore the formula. You don't get the special shades, but you do get a lot of nice shimmers. So I would definitely say if you're trying to figure out what to buy, you don't want a classic mothership, you don't want the current collection, if you can still get one of these celestial ones or the first one she came out with, which was Celestial Divinity, I would say go for it. I think you would enjoy it. I certainly do. So if you do purchase it, let me know. Okay, number 2 is on my eyes. This was another 2 palettes, and from the same brand, like not from Pat McGrath, from the same brand together. Okay, so it is the Cool Mattes again. Remember, I just talked about that in one of the looks. So I used the Cool Mattes palette along with, from Viseart, along with the Petit for Lila's palette from Viseart. So I used these 2 shimmers. Actually, no, I used all of the shades here. I put the mattes down first. They're a really like light color on me, and then I put the shimmers on top, and then I went in to deepen the shades with these 3 here. I was really trying to embrace more cool tones. I typically stay away from cool tones, or I don't do them as often just because I like the warmth, you know? But I wanted to really push myself to use more cool tones, and I also realized like I don't have a ton of cool tones, I don't think, from what I understand a cool tone to be, just because I think I just gravitate more towards the warm tones. But I enjoy this one. I think it's real cute, okay? And I'm gonna keep it on for, what time is it? For the client I'm about to see. I also, it's kind of hard to tell, I think, or maybe you can. I used a blue eyeliner. This is from Sephora, their Colorful Wink It Felt Liner, and it is in the shade Midnight Blue. Here is that shade. Now, I like these liners, but this one did feel a bit like harder to use for some reason in comparison to like this one, which is a brown one from the same, is this the same? No, I don't think it's the same. Yeah, they actually might be different. I was thinking I got this, but I think this one, which just says waterproof brush tip liquid liner, this one comes in only brown and black, I believe, and I really wanted some of the other colors, and I found out as I was in the store, at least, that there were only brown and black in this one. So I got this one. I like it. Like, I think it's a nice color for those of you who want like something different in terms of a liner outside of the classic colors. It just felt like it was like trying to do the line. Do you see that? It's like, it took me some time to build it up to the thickness that I wanted. So I definitely don't like this one as much as the other one that I have from them. If they do come out with a like few different colors with just the gel brush tip liquid liner. I'm definitely gonna get some of those. Those are the ones I appreciate the most. And then numero uno, what could it be? It is Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge. I used this palette in the most recent Copy Kitty collab with Jan Van. I really liked the look. It was super like dramatic, very cool. Actually, I think that was kind of cool tone too. Like cool tone purple. I felt very made up though. I don't know that that's a look I would wear all the time. I feel like I'm toning it down as I ripen into older age. But I really like that look. I was serving that look. I was serving it on a platter, okay? So I really enjoyed that one. And that rounds out the list, y'all. Yeah. I feel like I'm becoming calmer or something. Usually I've got like 12 and I'm waving all kinds of stuff and what's happening? Okay, so I do want to transition into whatever we're gonna highlight this week that is not necessarily eyeshadow related. So let's get into it. So one thing that you may be aware of is that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I went ahead and added my little pink ribbon here because pink and this ribbon are typically what you see a lot during the month of October. So there are definitely a lot of different, like, October is the month of, there are a lot of them. And the breast cancer one is one that I think affects a lot of us in terms of most of us know someone who has that diagnosis or something. I think the stats are that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, but also breast cancer is not just a woman thing. Men and other genders can definitely, gender identified people can definitely get breast cancer, but mostly you hear about it in women. Now, I definitely know people who have or had breast cancer, beat it or did not, which is super unfortunate. I think it's one of the bigger foundations in terms of donating and having various like races and resources and things like that. One of the pieces that I find super interesting is that for Black women, because I'm a Black woman, the age of diagnosis is a little bit lower. So like there are other races who are diagnosed, like the average is around 62, but for Black women it is around 60. So it's at an earlier age, and I believe it's 1 in 5 Black women will be diagnosed with a harder to treat type of breast cancer. Some of that can be related to a lot of things. It can be related to access to medical care, the distrust between medicine and lots of communities of color that goes very far back. It could be research supports that oftentimes Black women especially are not listened to or taken seriously by doctors. So I think there are a lot of various reasons why this might appear, which really sucks. Let me see if there are any other stats that might be helpful for you. Black women also have the lowest 5-year relative breast cancer survival rate and are 40% more likely to die from breast cancer than white women. For our Hispanic women, they have a 20% lower incidence rate of breast cancer than any other group. They are also, though, more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer at later stages when it's more difficult to treat. So very similar to Black women. And it's the leading cause of cancer death for Hispanic women. That's not good. Now for our AAPI folks, which is Asian Pacific Islander and also Alaska Native women, they are more likely to be diagnosed with localized breast cancer but often more treatable. They have the lowest death rate from breast cancer and the lowest incidence rate of developing breast cancer is found among American Indian and Alaska Natives. And Chinese and Japanese women have the highest breast cancer survival rates. So those are just some stats for you, something to really keep in mind. Make sure that if you have any sort of breast tissue, that you are doing your self-exams, you're going to the doctor related to you, getting your mammograms, all that good stuff. I remember hearing various reports of sometimes partners like finding the cancer or a lump or something before the person with breast does, because like maybe they're all touching on it and stuff a little bit more than we do. But yeah, make sure you are taking care of your boobies and taking care of yourself. And thank you. I really wanted to talk about this one because there are people very close to me who have breast cancer, and it's just very sad. So hopefully that was okay to share. We have like another week or so of this month, so let me know if there is something I should highlight and give some information about. So I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Please let me know what palettes or colors you use this week for your eyeshadow, what you plan to use next week. Also, I would love for you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.